We begin. Welcome, welcome everyone. Um, I'm Reverend Annette Hack, and I'm a minister with a Journey Within, and I'm going to be the hosting today's service. We are so pleased, and we welcome our guest today, Shari Dworkin-Smith. Shari Dworkin-Smith is a psychic medium, transpersonal I hope I say this, hypnotherapist, and certified grief educator living in Central Florida. She's the creator of the Becoming an Empowered Empath online journey, and it's featured in the best-selling book, Own Your Awesome and Step into Your Authenticity. Shari has been named one of the top psychic mediums in her area and was also an independent sales director with Mary Kay Cosmetics for the past 27 years and retiring from that position at the end of March. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
She lives in Orlando with her wonderful husband, two adult sons, three dogs, and two cats, all of whom are also wonderful. I'd also like to share, and we're excited, that Shari is going to be in two classes this summer with the Journey Within. Shari, would you like to share some of that information about the classes?
Absolutely, absolutely. So I'm so honored and excited to have been invited to create and teach these two classes for the church. So on July 11th, so just a few weeks from now, at 7:30 in the evening Eastern Time, we will be doing a 1-hour class, and I invite you to join me for Unspooling Your DNA: How Our Thoughts Become Things That Have an Effect on Other Things. So we are souls having a human experience here on earth, yet we're also made of electrical impulses. And it's these electrical impulses that actually have a direct impact on the world around us. And during this class, we're going to be talking about this science that literally changed my life, about how our DNA is directly connected to our thoughts that can lead to real world impact on our ability to manifest things in our lives, things that we truly want. So we will learn how to tap into that great power that's already inside of us and how to co-create more effectively with the universe. Then in August, on the 13th, we will be doing a 2-hour class. And this is something Joe had asked me specifically to do because I had been with Mary Kay for so long and achieved such a level of success. He really wanted me to create a class to help to share with people who are now mediums and psychics, and they have all of this practical training, but maybe not the business understanding of how do I take what I know and my skills and how do I use this to market myself and build a client base and advertise and get a website and do all the things to build a successful mediumship business. And a lot of folks, because they've come from perhaps a 9-to-5 job or something where they had a template, they didn't have to build a business from the ground up, have now these wonderful mediumship skills, but don't know how to turn that into a business. And so we're going to spend 2 hours on August 13th from 7 to 9 Eastern Time. We're going to be talking through so many different aspects, really from A to Z, about how do you build your business so that now your mediumship is not just blessing those you're working with, but can financially bless you and your family as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Please note that these classes are going to be posted. They're not on the website right now, but they will be posted at the Journey Within. So take a look and you can see why we are so pleased to welcome Shari Dworkin-Smith to this service with the Journey Within Spiritualist Church. We begin our service with spiritual healing that is conducted virtually as our healers are with us today. Now, if you'd like to request healing for someone, please type their first name and the first initial of their last name into the chat box. Now, please don't include the person's full last name. That's due to confidentiality. And also, if you'd wish to add the names of your pets, the planet, or global circumstances, you're welcome to do so. We'll open with a prayer, followed by a period of quiet meditation. Now, if you would like to participate in the healing, please quiet yourself. Focus on your breathing. And as you inhale, feel yourself boosting your own immune system and igniting that inner healer that's within you. Please join me in prayer. Mother, Father, God, gracious God of love, as we join together with like-minded souls, may we be a conduit of this healing that we can share with the world, that can shine so brightly with so many together, touching the universe, touching your home, touching the young, touching the old, and animals, and humanity itself, from one soul to another, and sharing our eternal healing with all those in need in those war-torn countries, and in the natural disasters, folks going through those pieces, those earthquakes, those hurricanes, even dissension within their countries. No matter what occurs, what circumstance, may they receive peace and healing, whether it be physically, whether it be spiritually, or even emotionally, to heal them, to heal the abused, the ones that are alone as well, that have no one to be with them, to share with them. And may we always remember that we're working with a ministry of angels to open our hearts, to have understanding and kindness, to be more gentler to those in this world and those that pass our way right in front of us, not even just across the world. Because we know that we have not walked in their shoes. We know that we don't know their experiences in our heart. So may we take this time to build that divine spark within, to make the flame be so much brighter, to heal ourselves as well as others, for us shouldering the grief, releasing the judgments, and easing the pain and burdens. For we never forget that healing is there for merely the asking. Amen. As we come to the end of the healing portion of the service, we pray for special healing for those names that have been written in the chat box, whether human or animal, as well as throughout this world, who may be experiencing the hunger, the loneliness, the fear, the sadness, and whatever it may be. And may we always remember that a healing light is more powerful than any darkness. It touches one soul to another when we open our awareness to those that are in need, for we place our trust in the love and the power of God. Amen. If you would like to request healing for anyone during the course of the week, please email or call the church with their names, and we'll forward them to the healers who will be praying for healing through the weeks and the months to come. And a special thank you to the healers. Please know you're greatly appreciated for your time. Welcome again, everyone. I'm Reverend Annette Hack from the Journey Within Church, and I'm the host for today's service. And we're here today with Shari Dworkin-Smith. And we open the service with song and prayer. And I'd like to invite Shari to lead us in the opening prayer.
Thank you, Annette. Infinite Spirit, thank you for bringing us together today in this place of love, learning, and support. We ask that you bless all who have come here and those who are unable to be with us. Send healing to all who are in need and help us to connect with each other and with our loved ones in spirit, with open hearts and open minds. Bless us and keep the light of your love and protection around us as we come together this morning in communion with you. We ask this in your name, which is love.
I'd like to invite Shari to lead us or to provide today's address. Shari?
Oh my goodness, what an amazing voice Whitney Houston had. Just incredible. So I'm very, very glad to be here. And I'm extremely honored to have been asked to share a bit about my journey, specifically as it relates to one of the tenets of spiritualism, personal responsibility. As Annette said, I spent much of my adult life as an independent sales director for Mary Kay Cosmetics. This is a business that is all about personal responsibility. It's pretty simple, really. If you do the work, you'll reap the rewards. Worked. I earned cars, Cadillacs, diamonds, and so much more. I don't share this with you to brag or boast, but more that this is mainly a business about women. And over the years, I've had the privilege of being mentored by some phenomenally successful women who are all about personal responsibility. So much so that one of our national sales directors, Amiritai, created a mantra that has become almost a gospel in the Mary Kay world. She says, "We are where we are by the choices we've made or allowed others to make for us." So I thought I understood about personal responsibility pretty well. The first part always made sense to me. Of course, we are where we are by the choices we've made. I get that. Study hard, get good grades in school, so you'll have a better possibility of getting into the college of your choice, right? My husband and I said this to our kids repeatedly, and I'm sure we can all pull examples from our own lives fairly easily. But I have to be honest and say that the second part of this statement took me a little longer to understand. The choices I have allowed others to make for me. What's that about? I've always been a rather independent person, which means I was never fond of others telling me what to do, but it never occurred to me that I was intentionally allowing others to make decisions for me, or that I was giving my power away. This never made sense to me until much later in my life, but in truth, it happened all the time. Let's say growing up, mom was making burgers for dinner. That was a decision she made for me. So either I'm also having burgers for dinner or I was going hungry. My choice, yes, but certainly narrowed by the decisions made for me or at least around me. What about when we hear a negative review of a restaurant or a movie? Does that make us less or more? Does that make us less interested in patronizing those venues? Perhaps. Did we make that decision or did we allow it to be made by others around us? If we stop and look at our lives where we are now, this idea can open up a lot of things to think about. In the winter of 1989, I boarded a British Airways flight bound for London's Heathrow Airport. About an hour outside of Miami, one of the engines exploded and the entire plane filled with thick black smoke. Oxygen masks fell from the ceiling and the plane was in a nosedive. It was by far one of the scariest moments of my life. Thankfully, the nosedive was intentional and not a complete loss of power, but sitting in the back of the plane, there was no way to know what was really going on. Once the plane was low enough, the pilots were able to recirculate the air and get the smoke out. And thank God for the amateur pilot sitting in the row in front of me who kept shouting updates and trying to keep people from freaking out. It didn't work, but in the moment I was grateful he was trying. By then, unfortunately, we were too far away to make it back to Miami and the plane was directed to land in the Bahamas. In the 1980s, Grand Bahama was not yet the popular cruise ship destination that it is now, and the runway was not capable of accommodating a 747. Likely it still isn't. We hit the beginning of that runway so hard, the nose wheel buckled and the plane skidded along before swerving into the grass between the two runways at the other end. The ocean was so close outside the window, I could see the waves hitting up against the seawall. It would take a minimum of 48 hours to repair the runway and for new crews in presumably smaller planes to arrive and take us on to London. Everyone's luggage was in containers in the belly of the plane, which was still sitting in the grass. So even if I did eventually get to London, my stuff would not. I chose to get on that plane and go to England. That was a choice I made. Decisions after the plane took off were made for me. Don't get me wrong, I was super grateful to be safely back on the ground. But the mantra says, I am where I am by the choices I've made or that I've allowed others to make for me. So now I'm stuck in the Bahamas as more choices are being made. Well, not really in the Bahamas. Since we'd already been cleared to Heathrow, the Bahamian government refused to let passengers into the country. Those of us not seated in first class were seated on the floor outside of the customs area, which in those days was the size of a small bus station. Another decision that was made for me. I wasn't going to be in England all that long, and we had barely left Miami, so the airline gave us the option to go on or go back. Getting on a plane in either direction scared the hell out of me, but at this point, flying across the ocean scared me even more. And we'd now been sitting either on the broken plane or on the floor outside the customs area with barely anything to eat or drink for 2 days. It was my 21st birthday, almost New Year's Eve, and I just wanted to go home. I decided to board a terrifyingly small plane with a dozen or so other quitters, and we flew the short hop back to Miami. The choices that were made, mine, the pilots, Well, maybe not the Bahamian governments, but those choices were right. But I had been gone almost 3 days and I had nothing to show for it. 2 weeks later, I would have to get back on a plane and fly back to college in New York. That was not an easy decision, but in the end, I couldn't stay home indefinitely. It wasn't fun, but I got on the plane and went back to school. However, I never flew internationally again. My choice. That is until this past April when my husband came with me for my first trip back to England. Partly vacation and partly to ensure I didn't bail. It's probably more accurate to say he brought me to England so I could attend class at the Arthur Findlay College in Stansted. It took 35 years and several strong drinks, but I got on the plane and crossed the ocean. We had a wonderful time. And I found myself repeating, I can't believe I'm here. I can't believe I'm here. It was an amazing experience, and I'm so grateful I was finally able to choose to go. Finally able to go. And that voice inside says, why did I wait so long? Why did I let fear stop me? Was this my choice or one that was made for me? Not an easy question to answer. Understandably, I didn't want to get on another international flight, though people do seem to do it every day. I have never really stopped flying as we've lived and traveled all over the United States. So in that case, I chose to move forward and keep living my life. I just never went abroad. I think the decision was also partly made for me in that as life goes on, I got married, had kids, which meant we had no money for international travel. There was nothing I felt I was missing out on, though. Even though as a higher achieving Mary Kay director, I could have made the choice to work towards the annual top trip, which was always to some exciting international destination. My decision to eschew international travel provided me with a reasonable excuse not to pursue a goal which I did not feel passionate about. I told myself over and over again it was because of what happened, but in truth, it was my choice to let fear hold me back. This fear and the belief that I didn't need to leave the country was now so firmly part of me that digging more deeply into those thoughts could have far too easily opened up a door to judgment, shame, self-recrimination. So I avoided that for more than 3 decades. My choice. Except when we're finally able to grow enough to open up and learn more about working with the universe, we begin to understand. The truth is, we come to things in our own time, in our right time. I probably could have gotten to England sometime in the previous 3.5 decades, but I wasn't ready. Again, my choice. There hadn't been a reason for me to be ready. A decision made for me? Maybe. But looking back, I can see where I was learning and growing in other areas that needed this time. So I'd be ready to receive the blessings and the lessons of the return trip now. It's easy to beat ourselves up over the woulda, coulda, shouldas of life, but it serves no purpose. There is nothing positive to come from that, and looking back with regret doesn't change anything either. But we are where we are by the choices we've made or allowed others to make for us. And understanding which choices were mine and which choices I allowed to be made for me helped me change my mindset. True, some things are out of our control, and that's just the way it is. I can't fly a plane, and so I have to trust that those who can are making the best decisions they can make at the moment with the information and skills they have available to them. That's really all any of us can do. Make the best decisions we can in the moment and release the rest. I'm not talking about surrendering or giving up our autonomy, more like becoming aware of what we can do, the choices we make, and how we're allowing ourselves to be affected by decisions made for us. This empowers us to more fully be part of the process and thereby more in control of our own lives. Truthfully, this was the perfect time for me to return to England. Now, as an adult, I was able to appreciate and enjoy all that was in front of me. I have often spoken about my spiritual reawakening and how even prior to that point, before I even understood, Spirit had been guiding me through my life to people and places that could help me connect with my abilities as a medium and my purpose in doing this work. You would usually ignore them or turn away because I was not ready to see or hear what they were trying to show me. Again, my decision, but this time it was different. Now I was ready to make a different choice. The years have allowed me to more fully know who I am and why I'm here. I was ready for more. I suppose I was ready-ish in 2020 as a group of friends and I were scheduled to attend Arthur Finley that summer, but COVID. Decisions were definitely made for us, but not this time. Still scared, I was as ready as I was ever going to be. I was going to England. I was going to overcome my fear of international flying. The fear didn't leave me, but I was trying to no longer allow it to make decisions for me. My dear friend and super talented spirit artist Laura called and said, "Hey, I'm going to this class and you should come too." I hesitated only briefly before saying yes. And when I mentioned it to my husband, he said, "Great, I'll come with you and make sure you get there safely and feel okay about it." He's pretty awesome that way. We had an amazing time: Stonehenge, Windsor Castle, the home of King Henry VIII, and so much more. And after my course at AFC, I had a day by myself in London, which affirmed to me again that I was in the right place at the right time for me. I had made the right choice. I felt proud of myself for taking that leap of faith, and more than anything, I felt, and I still feel, extremely grateful, both for the experience and for the personal growth that came from it. There are no wrong turns in life, just bends in the path for us to learn more fully what our souls came here to experience. It is up to us, though, whether we're willing to learn and make our own choices, or whether we'll just coast along, allowing others to steer until we're ready. Either way, it's important to know that spirit doesn't give up on us. It might take a while for us to be willing to listen, but spirit will still be there to guide us once we decide that we are ready. It took me 35 years to get back on this part of my path, but it was the perfect time for me. Yes, I have allowed others to make decisions for me, and some of that is just part of life. But now I can more fully say, I am where I am because of the decisions that I've made, much more so than by the choices I've allowed others to make for me. And this has opened up a whole new world of possibility. You are where you are by the choices you've made or allowed others to make for you. And I wonder, what will that mean for you? What choices will you make? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sherry, for those wonderful, heartfelt words. And what a story. Glad to have you here, by the way.
Oh, hearts, yay.
We now come time for our collection announcements. You'll see a box on the screen for donations, and we appreciate any donations at any time. You're welcome to scan that box to make the donation, or you can donate through the website, or you can even use the mail, the regular mail that I'm used to. We're grateful for all donations, great and small. Thank you. Upcoming classes and events. We have a fellowship after the service every week. Come for the camaraderie, the coffee and the tea, and even bring something to share, whether it be thoughts or whether it be the bagels or the dessert or whatever it might be, and meet with the fellowship and the friends and just the chat and enjoy the moment in time. Also, please consider becoming a member of the community. You'll see another box on the screen that you can scan if you'd like to become a member of the Journey Within. Love you either way. How's that? Upcoming classes or events. The first and third Wednesdays of the month, there's a community meditation with Eugenia Bushman. And this Thursday, June 20th, there's a summer solstice celebration service with Dr. Janet Pidiletto. Been there before, it's beautiful. On June 22nd, there's Exploring the Akashic Records with Kevin Tadashi. Also, we have other classes on June 22nd. There's Love, Intention, and Connection with Lori Sheridan, plus a natural mediumship with Sandra Athiris. Now, what I'm sharing with you is all online, so take a look on the website. June 24th, Activating a Summer Self-Healing Practice Series that's with Judith Seaman. Mispronouncing today, I apologize for that. On June 26th, there's Introduction to Mediumship with Laura Wooster. June 29th is Pandora's Box, Opening the Lid to Your Mediumship with Mitch and Catherine Shirley. July 11th, an exploration of shamanic healing practice series begins with Judith Seaman. July 13th, Exploring Your Evidential Toolbox with Connie Fasella. On July 20th, Life After Loss of Any Kind series that begins with Catherine and Mitch Shirley. July 24th, Conversing with Spirit with Laura Wooster. And July 27th, Understanding the Medium's Mind with Pastor Joe. But also remember that Shari has a couple of those classes that she gave the dates earlier. I think July was
July
what?
11th.
July
Yeah,
11th.
July 11th. So
August,
that'll be a double hitter that day.
there you go. And I think August 13th was the other one you said?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Again, look at the website. That will give you the times, dates, and everything. Now, we also have in person at the Journey Within, which is on the first and third Sundays of each month. There's a mediumship development class. Now, this is for all levels, and it will be with Pastor Joe and a guest tutor. And it begins at 12 p.m. and it's $20 per class. And the class is today. So pop on in. June 23rd, there's a meeting and training session for moderators of the Journey Within in-person services. Now, please, if you are a current moderator, please attend the meeting. And if you'd like to become a moderator, we'd like you to join us as well. Take a look at it and explore it. On August 9th through 11th, there's Working with Spirit Platform Demonstration Workshop with Pamela Meredith and Dawn Pfeiffer. September 5th, again, this is at the Journey Within. September 5th, Demonstration Mediumship with John Helen and Pastor Joseph Shield. September 6th and 7th, Signs, Symbols, and Images, Understanding the Language of Spirit with John Holland and Joseph Shield. We are continuously updating our website with new classes and new events and different services that may be coming up for special times. So please look there for the most up-to-date information. We'd love to have you join us. We now move into our demonstration mediumship. As a spiritualist church, we believe in the continuity of life. Now, as the medium or Sarah brings forth the body of evidence of a deceased loved one, and you can take 90% of what has been said, or 100, in the exact way the medium said, not kind of making it fit the way you'd like it to work, I would ask that you'd raise your digital hand. Now, that is usually located at the bottom of the screen. Sometimes it's under reaction, sometimes it's separate, but a couple folks do that for me just to confirm that we've got it working today. Thank you. Thank you so much. Wonderful. Now, as important, we'll have you lower them. If you can, if not, I can still do it as well. Oops. Oh, we'll lower them. There we go. There. Okay. If you can take the first few pieces of evidence, but you can't continue to take the next pieces of evidence, we'll ask you to lower your hand so we may find the recipient fairly quickly. Now, if several people can take the information, it's going to be up to Sarah to discern the right recipient. If you're invited to speak and you cannot unmute and you're having difficulty, just type me in the chat box. I do review that or monitor that as well, okay? We'll now listen to a song in preparation for the demonstration and then say a prayer. You're welcome to join me in our prayer. Do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there. I do not sleep. I'm 1,000 winds that blow. I'm the diamond glints on snow. I'm the sunlight on ripened grain. I'm the gentle autumn rain. When you awaken in the morning's hush, I'm the swift uplifting rush of quiet birds in circled flight. I'm the soft star that shines at night. Do not stand at my grave and cry. I am not there. I did not die. I invite Shari Dworkin-Smith to offer a demonstration of mediumship. Shari?
That was beautiful. Thank you. I feel like I had this gentleman that's been sitting with me for a little while now. He's a dad, a little rounder guy. He shares with me this memory, this image of him on a larger lawn on a riding mower, the kind you sit on, and he's very proud of his lawn. He's waving, and he directs me to a daughter that is here. The daughter may be dealing with some health issues of her own as well. There's a jovial quality about him. He's he's a easy, quick to laugh, this man. And I feel like he is someone who never took life so seriously. I feel like he was successful, but he was not necessarily what others would consider a phenomenal success. But he understood the importance of a balance between work hard and have that time with family. And family was super important to him. I also feel like that there are two grandchildren that are connected with this daughter that he's directing me towards. So let me see if that's something that you've got a couple hands for.
Oh, Kelly, would you like to have her come on?
Sure.
There you go.
Hi, Kelly. Can you turn your camera on, or it's okay if you can't?
I can try.
Don't worry about it.
Hold on
I know
one
that
sec.
messes with the signal sometimes. Don't worry about it. Can you tell me which pieces of the information you understood?
So I can take the riding lawnmower, the proud of the lawn. I can take the work hard, play hard action. I can take the father in spirit, and I can take the two children connected to me.
Okay. And you would understand a health issue. You're certainly not trying to pry or disclose anything personal, but you would understand there's a health issue that you are dealing with, that he's just, this is not a life threatening, this is not like, oh my gosh, but he's just wanting to offer some support. You would understand that?
Uh, I could say like fatigue, if that,
Okay.
but nothing, no sickness or anything
Okay.
like that.
Okay.
So I cannot
just,
take the health issue really,
okay.
other than.
Okay. All right. And that, do we have anybody else? Okay, great. We're gonna, Kelly's okay if I work with you?
Yes, thank you so much.
Absolutely. So this feels like, I feel like I'm in the Midwest of the United States with him. I feel like again, this larger lawn and this pride in the appearance of the lawn. There's memories. You have a brother, yes?
Yes.
Okay. There's memories of tumbling on um on the lawn. I see Beth's message as well. Let's make sure if Beth can take all those pieces. Kelly, if you don't mind holding on. But I do see a sister and a brother, and just I feel like cousins, other kids that are around also that were tumbling on the lawn. You understand?
I can take the, yes, playing outside, always, yes. Cartwheels, yes. But if you want to check with the other.
Nope, we're good.
Yeah.
I see Beth's text, so that's no problem. Okay, great. And so I feel this is outside on the lawn, tumbling on the lawn. With him, there is if he makes me aware of an issue I feel in the heart with him that is related. This is related to his passing. It may not have been the actual thing at the very end, but I feel like this is very related to his passing as issues with the heart. And again, he points back to the hereditary nature of heart issues and just wanting to make sure that you are being aware. You understand this information, yeah?
Yes, I can take that, yes.
Okay, fantastic. He also has, there's a sister that he points to. I feel like she is still here, but there's just an awareness and there's an appreciation that is being extended to the sister, his sister. I feel like that there was a lot of places that she stood in the gap and helped at the time of his passing. He's
I have
showing
a
me.
sister-in-law.
Okay. Not his sister, but his sister-in-law. Okay, thank you. This image that he gives me of the sister is as if she is holding up the other women in his life at the time of his passing. The time of his passing, it feels like it was somewhat of a surprise. That's not the right word. It was a surprise, but not surprising. This makes sense?
Yes.
Okay. And he also, there was a service for him, and there was a large contingent of people that had showed up. He's showing me some like club, something like Rotary. I hear this word Rotary in my head, as if he was part of Rotary or Elks or something like this. It was a large contingent of people that showed up from one organization to remember him at his service.
There was a huge outpour of support that came out for him. I don't know, none of those like named organizations, but just like a named like boys club, like good old boys kind of thing.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Nope. I totally get that. Thank you very much. Yeah, it almost it surprised him, that outpouring uh of support and love. He there's a humility about him. I live my life. I try to do good work. I do good work in the community. I let people know I care about them. I feel like he was very open with his affections to people, letting people know they were important to him, but it was not an expectation of his to have that to be reflected back so prominently. And I feel like that was very humbling for him. There is also a piece about a car. This is a larger car, and I feel like the car is still in the family, has been passed to someone else in the family. Again, a point of pride, but I hear in my head, you know, that term about large cars, land yacht, as if I'm hearing this in my head, that he had a big, larger car that he had passed on to someone else in the family, a son, grandson, something to that effect. Do you understand this about this car?
I do. I was gifted multiple cars from him, and then my daughter was just gifted a car. So
one
he's
of these
probably
cars,
acknowledging that.
okay, I gotcha. One of these cars, I feel like I feel this in my lungs, like I gotta wait, like to get up into the car, like I gotta kind of hike up. This is one of the, is this a truck or something that's higher off the ground there to get up into this car? Because he's giving me a little giggle about it, like you could do it.
One of them was a Blazer, so it wasn't, but it wasn't like a jacked up truck or anything.
Hey, look, I'm 5'9" and I still got to
Yeah.
step up into my SUV, so I totally get it. So there is and I knew you said you had two children. There's a daughter with you, and I feel like that there's I'm not sure if it's, oh, you have two daughters, is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay. And he's talking about, there's a birthday, somebody's birthday is in July.
That's
what are
my
we?
mother. Yes.
Okay, and there's a real happy birthday about that, because you all are talking about getting everybody together for this birthday, yes?
We try every year. Yes.
Okay. There's something about a birthday celebration, like outside, either in this lawn, this backyard lawn. It looks almost like a park, like with those gazebos and stuff. That there's a gathering in the park that he wants to acknowledge as well. Apologize, my dog, I don't think you can hear it, but my dogs are now having a bark fest. But there's something about gazebos in a park. I believe also there's like a lake or a pond that's in the background, that's a gathering that's planned for this summer as well. And there's an acknowledgement of that, because I feel like this has a repetitive significance of this location of places like we would have gone here before, we would have go there like you know, annually, kind of a thing. Do you understand where that is, Kelly?
There's multiple places that do come to mind that we have visited.
There's there's just a fondness of these memories, and yeah, just one more thing is has more to do with an anniversary for you. Let me see. This is not this summer. Where is this anniversary? Okay, something that's significant for you in September, this feels like September, there's a milestone that you are marking in around late August, September, in that is being acknowledged. I feel like I want to say congratulations to you. I feel like I want to say there's also a piece of pride that's connected to this as well. Does it make sense?
I didn't hear the last bit. A piece of what?
Piece of pride, like he's proud
Oh,
of you
pride. Yes,
for this.
yes, because I am considering some changes around that time in my life.
Okay, well, let me say this point of pride for him with that, because I feel like there's this arrow that's pointing in that direction, and that the things that you are considering feel like he's got that support around you. I feel like he's standing behind me, kind of making me stand a little straighter in that time, and just wanting to let you know that he's with you, he's behind you, he's giving you that support, and these things that you're considering feel I feel stronger in my body when you say that, like, oh yes, this is the right thing. This is a move that's being supported, and that he's with you on that. So I will leave you with that, with so much love from him. Oh, and also I need to apologize, but I need to grab your nose. That he gives me this, you know, I got your nose kind of a thing, you know, I got your nose. And just before he goes, he just wanted to make sure that
Thank you, Shari. Thank you so much. Thank you, Reverend Annette. It was a beautiful message, and it means so much on Father's Day to receive a message. Thank you, and lots of love to everybody today.
Thank you so much for working with me, Kelly.
Thank you.
Okay, we have time for another one, yeah?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I'd like to talk about a woman, and this is going to sound very Red Riding Hood, but I want to talk about a woman with a basket of muffins. This does not feel like a monetary thing, like I'm selling muffins. This is a kindness thing. I enjoy baking. I make the muffins, I wrap them, I bring them to work, I bring them where I go. People can, oh, want a muffin? Here, have a muffin. And there's nothing that, like, I'm, you know, my left brain says, you know, don't take candy from strangers, but that vibe is not, you know, like, this is someone we know, and someone who is known for this action, and known for really good baked goods, excuse me, and people look forward to her showing up with pastries and baked goods. This is an older woman. I feel like this is something she had just done for years, because I see her as a younger person working in an office, but not a big office, like a private business, smaller office, maybe 10 people that work there. People, the kind of place where people have worked for, you know, people stay for a long time. But as she's gotten older, to her community, her church community, her synagogue groups, she is again known for bringing the baked goods, unsolicited, bringing the baked goods. There are grandchildren. This is somebody who has lived near her family, has lived near her, you know, they have not strayed far. She has lived in the same place for most of her life. I feel like she was married for a long time. I feel like her husband, yeah, I'm going to leave it with married for a long time, because I'm not quite sure where he is. And I feel like there are 3 children that she has, and that are here alive. And also, this is a woman of strong faith. This is a woman who believed in a higher power, was not afraid to hit her knees when it was necessary, but she, it wasn't so much a church relationship as it was a higher power relationship. I do also feel like she keeps giving me this higher power, and I feel like there's somebody, not her, but someone around her, in her children or grandchildren, that had struggled with addiction as well. So let me leave that there for a minute and see what Annette has.
We have Janice.
Hello.
Hi, Janice. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. What can you tell me which pieces that you understand, please?
It sounds exactly like my grandma. 3 kids, her faith. She had a grandson that's still struggling with addiction, unfortunately. Um, the muffins, because she always baked. That was like her thing of baking baked goods, giving it out. I'm trying to think of everything that you said.
Um,
She was close to her kids, lived in the same house most of her once she got married, her adult life, until she passed. Trying to think of what else. Is there anything I missed?
I think you got most of it. That feels right because I feel as you're talking, I'm feeling her very close to me. I feel like she passes with illness. I feel like that there's this like a cancer, maybe I feel like breast cancer or something in that area that is what takes her away. I feel like it was a struggle for a period of time, but thankfully I don't feel like it was one of these things that was years and years. And I do feel like, because I'm still trying to place where her partner is, and I do feel like that he had passed before her, and that she was, when she got to this point, she was like, you know what, I'm good. I'm okay to go. I know he's waiting for me. This makes sense for you, Janice.
Honestly, she passed first, and then he passed shortly after her.
Okay, and you understand illness connected with her passing?
Correct. It was cancer, not necessarily breast cancer, but it did travel up into the chest, and she couldn't breathe at the end. And it went quickly, within like 6 months.
Okay, gotcha. Fantastic. Well, not fantastic, but thank you. Okay. She also was very bubbly, really good sense of humor with her. She was the person that if we were having a bad day, she would always make us feel better, often with cookies.
Yeah, cookies, you got it, cookies, yeah.
It was really that belief. You know, there's a saying, what is it? You know, nothing can't be made better by some cookies and putting on some lipstick. I've been a Mary Kay for too long. Okay, there is, and Janice, you are married, correct?
No longer.
Okay.
What?
Okay. There's something about a motorcycle, a motor. I hear it in my head. It's almost like a song, a motorcycle riding man around you. You understand that?
Uh-huh.
Okay. But there's a wink with her about it. Like she might have not liked the other guy, but this one she likes, the motorcycle riding man.
Okay.
Because yeah, there's a wink about that. She also is talking about your backbone, your strengths. You had endured a lot in the previous relationship. She talks about how you really had to grow yourself and grow your strength in that. And that there's again, it's a lot of winking with her. She gets that from me, winking. And so she talks about this strength that she has, that she sees in you. Also need to say that there's a dog in spirit that's with her, that I feel like is connected with you. This is a Shaggy,
Yeah, that would be my Candy. Yep.
Okay. And this is okay. This dog is slightly too big to be a lab dog, but the dog does not know or care. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And I can bury my fingers in the fur. This is a Shaggy dog. And always this dog, you remember Benji from the old movies? I mean, that's dating myself, I know, but this kind of looks like a Benji dog. Very ragamuffin looking dog. But super sweet face.
Yeah.
And the dog there's very much a like they have attached themselves to each other, and so this is now your grandmother's dog, and they're just having a ball of just going everywhere and being fine together. Also need to talk about a boat with that's somewhere around you. There's acknowledgement of a boat. This is not like a water ski boat. This is more like a pond. We're fishing off of this boat. I feel like it might be like one of those pontoon boats, but we're fishing off of this boat. You understand this?
My girlfriend has a pontoon. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. There's lots of there's joy connected with this boat. Also, there's a congratulations for you. There's hang on a second. When this is a recent congratulations, like in the last three maybe 4 months, there was something that she's wanted to congratulate you for. That okay, it's not a. This is not academic accomplishment, but this is like a life event that she's just like happy for you. And because she's showing me, those little emojis that throw confetti, and this is what I'm seeing is these little confetti emojis. So there's congratulations for you. This makes sense to you, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. She's being I feel like this is personal, so she's because I'm like, well, what is it? And she's like, nope, that she knows what it is, and so she's just leaving it there. And you have a son with you as well, and he's in his middle to late teen years. Is that correct?
I wish maybe I'd have more control. Maybe she's talking about his mentality right now, but he's
Okay.
middle 20s.
Okay, well, I got one of those too. She's talking about the rebellious nature. So she's talking about the just hang in there and just know he's going to find his footing, because she's talking about the rebellious nature. So now there's another son that's with you that's not quite so rebellious in nature, correct?
No, I have a son and a daughter.
Okay, so I feel like I'm correct to say your daughter is not she's rounded enough that she's showing me tomboy, but she also cleans up well. But she's I hear in my head model citizen, but again, there's a wink with that with your daughter, that she's let me say this. She's the model citizen when it suits her.
Absolutely. Grandma, you nailed her.
Because she's kind of waving that in her brother's face of like, just to get like the approval and validation, but then she turns right around and takes off that outfit there. So the patience, your grandmother is funny. She's got a real quick wit about her. And so what she wants to say to you, Janice, is just hang on. You've raised them right. They will find their footing. And in the meanwhile, just enjoy the journey, enjoy the ride, because there will be time where they move on and further away from where you are. And that even though it's a little bit of a struggle right now, it's okay. And just have a cookie, keep that open heart, that open door, and just know that it will all come back around. Okay.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you. I really needed that.
It's my pleasure. Absolutely my honor to help. So
thank you. Blessings to everybody. Happy Father's Day to the dads.
Happy Father's Day to all the dads.
And this concludes the demonstration of spirit communication. I thank you all for attending the service, especially thanks Shari Dworkin-Smith for being with us today with a lovely address and beautiful messages. So may you all celebrate a wonderful Father's Day, and we'll end the service with prayer and song. I invite Shari to lead us in the closing prayer.
Infinite Spirit, thank you for our time together today. Thank you for helping us to create a beautiful opening for the messages of loved ones to reach us, and for bringing together such a wonderful group of people to receive them. We ask now that these energies can return to their proper place in the world of spirit with our love and appreciation. We came together today to form a community of love. Help us to hold on to these feelings as we prepare to end our time in this space. Continue to send healing to all who are in need and to their caregivers, to guide our steps, open our hearts, and keep the light of your love and protection around us as we go out into the world, striving to bring this beautiful energy of love to all we may meet. We ask these things in your name.
Thank you, everyone, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week, and we look forward to seeing you again. Have a great, great day.